Back at it again, and I came across this video clip of this Democrat activist who has, done some volunteering for Democrats in the past, and this young lady actually went to the DNC. I want you to hear what she has to say about her experience and how she feels, because I find that what she describes here is what I've heard from a lot of folks and what I've seen in a lot of different clips. And also, I have some breaking news that you guys are going to want to hear at the end of this video clip. So stick around. You're not going to want to miss that, I promise. All right. But with that being said, let's dive in.
Okay, I'm gonna get real in this, and it's probably gonna piss some people off, but I'm okay with that, because if I'm not being honest, then what else am I doing? I just got back from the DNC where I signed up to volunteer, and when I initially had signed up to volunteer, Joe Biden was still the nominee. It wasn't yet Kamala Harris. I've worked in progressive politics for a long time. I have worked for many different Democratic candidates, Senate candidates, House candidates, even some Democratic organizations. And as the years have gone by, I found myself getting more and more disillusioned with the Democratic Party, although until now I've never said that out loud or anywhere public. And I just want to say that by saying this, I'm not necessarily saying that the other party is better. I'm just giving you my experience with working with the Democrats. Throughout my career, I've mostly done campaign fundraising, so I've seen it the way that it works behind the scenes. And I know that candidates spend 8, 9, 10 hours a day just calling donors and begging rich people for money. It's pretty much the only people that they talk to. I mean, of course, sometimes they have to talk to voters, but the majority of their time is just spent calling and begging rich people to give them money for their campaigns. And what this inevitably means is that we don't actually live in a democracy. It's just rich people calling the shots and having the access to talk to the politicians. They're the ones that basically get their ear all day. They're the ones that can help shape and prioritize what the politician actually focuses on. Even the politicians that detest this, that want to get big money out of politics, still have to play this game. They still have to make these calls. They still do the same amount of just calling rich people and begging them for money. And what unfortunately happens once they get into office, if they get into office, is that they soon realize that the money machine is so great and the seduction of power is so immense that they no longer adhere to these values. When I first got into politics, I thought that Democrats were the party of the people. And at the DNC this week, I felt like I was in a building with the most elite and out of touch people in the entire world. It very much felt like, let's just have a huge party and forget all of our problems because the vibes are brat. When I was there, I didn't feel any connection to real America or the place that I come from, which is the Midwest, Kansas City, Kansas, and Missouri. I didn't feel any connection to the people that I know right now who are struggling to buy their groceries or to pay their rent. The people who want to know what both candidates are going to do to materially affect change in their lives. And when I was there listening to the speeches, I felt myself feeling mad because I didn't hear anything about the economy. Definitely not in Kamala's speech, and not very much in the others as well.
Yeah, they were too busy talking about Trump, 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 Trump. I'm sure you guys have seen the compilation videos of how many times they mentioned Trump. But let's jump back in.
Instead, I heard generic platitudes, things like joy and respect and integrity, and what does that even mean? Let's make the military the most lethal in the world? I thought I was part of the anti-war party. I thought I was part of the party that fought for the underdog, that championed working people. When and how did we just become the party of academia and affluence? Because that's what we are right now. How can we ever say that we're going to fight corporate power or give a voice back to those communities that have been left behind when above the delegates on the floor in levels and levels and rings of suites with donors and corporations, that we're literally looking down on the people below from above. That's what Chris Cuomo said, and he's absolutely right. You know, I went to the DNC this year hoping that I would feel reconnected to the Democratic Party, that I would have more of a sense of understanding of Kamala and her candidacy and what she stood for. But instead, I ended up leaving and feeling the opposite, more disconnected and alone than ever. And I don't think I can support Kamala Harris for president. I don't even know if I can call myself a Democrat anymore. I don't know who I'm going to be supporting, but I know it's not her. And for once, I'm not afraid to say it.
And to her, I say, good for you, right? Good for you. Don't be afraid to, speak your mind. But one thing that, and I always talk about this, one thing that I found out about Democrats is that they're all about love and positivity until you disagree. And I think that's where she said, why she said that at the end, she wasn't afraid to speak her mind anymore, because in her party, my former party, right? In her former party now as well, you're shunned, right? You're disciplined if you don't toe the line, if you don't yes a massa, coming from the party that loved the slaves back in the day. So I guess that's not surprising. If you don't just fall in line, especially as a black person, oh my goodness, you're all these kinds of different names, right? But I thought they were all about love and positivity. I thought they were all about diversity. It's all about diversity until it comes to diverse ideas. Then all of that diversity talk goes right out the window. All of that love and positivity talk goes right out the window the moment that you disagree. Right out the window. On this side of the political aisle, I found something completely different. Nobody berated me. Nobody yelled at me because, I was leaning towards Democrats and I wanted Democrats to prove me right. Nobody. Not a single person. I never saw a comment that was like, oh, Rich, you're an idiot. You're stupid. Nope. You know who did leave me those comments, though, once I became a Republican? Democrats. But they always talk about how they're all about love and positivity, which should send some red flags in general, right? If you have to tell me you're all about love and positivity, then that should mean that you're not all about love and positivity, because I would know if you were all about that. You wouldn't have to tell me. But I do think a lot of people are leaving the Democrat Party. And I want to show you guys this clip because it is very interesting. The Democrat Party is losing people at a rapid rate. And I also think that is one of the reasons why we have an open southern border. But also, something that I wanted to add is that I'm seeing a lot of talk about this right here. Okay? As you can see on your screen, this guy isn't the first person I've seen this from. Right there. You see that? Other Democrats may be stepping forward to support Donald Trump. Kind of interesting. And one of those folks that I've seen rumors that she's going to step forward and support Trump is a woman by the name of Jill Stein, who I'm sure you guys have heard of. She has a campaign going on right now. She's currently running. But I've been hearing some rumors that she may drop out here very soon and endorse Donald Trump. Now, I know some of you, your initial reaction is, whoa, Rich, whoa. And I get it, right? I understand. But from my perspective, and I'm just giving you my perspective, obviously, but that's obviously what you're here for. I'm not worried about, any of these folks being snakes. Trump has experienced that before. He knows the ins and outs. He knows where the skeletons are buried, right? So if anybody is stepping out of line in his administration, I'm confident that he will have it taken care of, right? And he will be very aware of what happened in his first term. during his second term. So I'm not worried about anybody, being a snake or anything in his administration, because you're seeing all of these folks. Honestly, I think they could be some great assets, right? Because the goal is to win. Because ultimately you can't affect any change unless you're in office to do it. So that's my ultimate goal. And I definitely think with the addition of RFK Jr. on board, I think that's massive. Not like massive in terms of like just sheer numbers, but massive in terms of, the possibility of winning, right? Like I said before, I think Trump was already winning, and now with the RFK Jr. endorsement, I think that only bolsters his numbers even more. Not significantly, like I said before, one or two points. I think that'll bolster his numbers. So nothing crazy, but a win is a win, right? And then with the addition of Jill Stein, who, like I said, I've heard some rumors that she may be endorsing Trump. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump gave her some type of job in the administration or something. And I expect that to happen. If for me, it's like hey, you scratched my back by endorsing me and helping me get to the White House, so I'm going to scratch yours and give you a job of some sort in the administration. You're not going to be the vice president, right? Okay. You're not going to be the president. Okay. But you scratch my back, so I'm going to scratch yours. To me, that's to be expected, right? I expect Trump to give RFK Jr. some type of job in his administration. And he kind of already alluded to that a little bit at the rally. What was that? Friday, I believe that was. So, and other Democrats will be stepping forward as well. That's massive. That's massive. So it'll be interesting to see how these next couple of weeks, these next few weeks all play out with the addition of RFK Jr. and possibly Jill Stein, amongst other Democrats, jumping on the Trump train, which, like I said, I've been seeing that a lot more lately, not in terms of politicians, but just like general population folks, opening their eyes and realizing, hey, it's not Donald Trump that's the evil one. It's them. So I just wanted to show you guys that story and let you guys know about some of the good news that could be coming down the pipeline here soon. What do you guys think? I asked you guys that about RFK Jr. and you guys were all excited. A few people had some cause to pause, and like I said before, I completely understand that. Like I said, I'm not too worried about it. But how do you guys feel about the addition of Jill Stein? Let me know. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.